The Student Seat brought to you by API's podcast committee.
Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of The Student Seat. I'm your host, Son Sovannita, and today we're joined by a very special guest, Principal Kelly. Today we'll talk about leadership, what it means, why it's important, and how students can be encouraged to step up as leaders. Hi, Principal Kelly.
Hi, Nita. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Enjoying this day today. It's our Spirit Week Crazy Hair Day.
Yes. Principal Kelly, how would you define leadership, especially in a school setting?
So I think leadership is difficult to define. I think it's very similar no matter what industry you are in, but very different. So I think for me personally, I would define it as having the ability to positively influence those around you and help them work towards a common goal. I think, especially in a school setting, being a leader isn't just about having title. So just because I am the academic principal doesn't make me a leader. I think what's important is to set a good example and to show responsibility and help create a supportive environment for all my teachers and for all my students. Let's take, for example, our Spirit Week this week. We all had to wear crazy socks or wear crazy hair. And for me, being a good leader would be participating in that to the best of my ability. And I believe that when I do that, it helps inspire and helps motivate my teachers to do the same because I'm leading by example. So I also think that to be a good leader, you need to be able to listen to others and understand everyone's point of view. And all together helps make a better school community.
And for students like me, what advice do you have to understand what leadership really means?
So for students like you, I would say all leadership starts with your character and who you are as a person, how you treat people around you every day, not just your friends, not just your family, but also strangers. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be a good leader. It's how you treat others and how you respond to how others treat you. So I think it's about standing up for what you believe in, for what you think is right, and for those that can't stand up for themselves. I remember when I first became a manager many years ago. My predecessor told me something that I've never forgot, and that is there is a difference between a manager and a leader. Neither one is better or worse than the other, but I feel that, and it's stuck with me forever, I feel like leaders inspire, managers manage, and it comes down to who you are as a person. So for me, I feel like I'm doing a good job at what I'm doing when I see my teachers smiling and my students smiling and the community that we've made here. So I think it's different for everyone, and who you are as a person will play a big role into what your leadership looks like.
That's a really great answer. Why is it important for students to try leadership roles?
I think it's important because it gives you guys a chance to build confidence as well as understand the responsibility associated with being a leader. So when you take these on, you also learn skills such as communication, problem solving, conflict resolution, and teamwork. Sometimes things you don't get to experience if you're not in that role. It's as small as being in a group project. When you're in a group project and you take the leadership role in that group, you're being a leader. It doesn't mean you have to be the head of something. So I think it gives you skills that you won't normally get in day-to-day life that you can use not just now, but you can use them at any stage in your life. And so it helps you grow as a person. And I think what's important for you guys to try leadership roles is it gives you a voice. You know, instead of me being like a dictator and telling all of you what to do and when to do it and how to do it, I think having you guys have a voice for your school experience is important, because it's not just my school, it's your school as well. And I'm not always there on the ground in the classrooms. Same with my teachers. Having a teacher council and giving them small leadership roles helps them also have a voice and a say into our experience as a whole here. So I think it's important for all of you to give it a try, because if you don't, how do you know what you're going to be like one day when you're all CEOs, hopefully?
Yes, and I also think that these roles are really fun too. You can definitely see the positive difference you make in your class or your school community. What advice would you give to students who want to take on these leadership roles but feels nervous or unsure?
I would say that feeling nervous is normal. I've been in management for 12 plus years, and every new role that I get, I'm always nervous. You never know what to expect, and I think it's natural. But I think what's important is taking that nervousness and channeling it and using it to motivate you. So I think many leaders, or almost all leaders in the world at some stage, have felt nervous about their position. So I would advise all of you to start small. Like I said, maybe take the leadership role in a group project. Maybe volunteer to do the public speaking first in your class. It's little things that you can start to build up that confidence in yourself. I wasn't always confident. I was a very shy kid. I didn't like talking in public or anything like that. And I joined drama club. And from that, I started to find my own voice and started to become less and less scared. And that's where I am now. But I started in the exact same position where any of you were in. So I think leadership grows through experience. And I'm still learning. I'm not the same leader I am now that I was 2, 5, 10 years ago. Every day I'm still learning. And I think what's also important is to remember that we are human and we make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And I think it's taking those mistakes and learning from them. I've made mistakes along my journey, but you pick yourself up and you keep going. But I think the most important thing about being a leader, and something that I want all of you to remember, is it's all about the people you have around you. It's having a supportive team, peers, colleagues, friends. I could not be the leader I am in this school without my entire teaching staff and how they rally behind me, as well as my students. So coming into school, seeing my students smile and give me a high five, that is what I fall on for the support of being the leader that I am. So having the right people around you, I think, is one of the most important things to being a good leader.
Yes, I agree. Having supportive people around you makes such a huge difference. Even just a simple "you can do it" motivates you to try. And lastly, what personal experience has helped you gain the leadership qualities to become who you are today?
It's different experiences have given me different opportunities. So I get my first job when I was 13, and that taught me a lot of independence, which you do need to have as a leader. And throughout school, I did exactly what you're all doing now. I was in my student council. I joined drama club. In primary school and high school, I took on any and every opportunity I can to either be a leader or take part in something that pushed me into that kind of out there speaking in front of public zone. And I think I've been very lucky in the opportunities I've had in my career to take extra chances and to be promoted in positions so that I can gain that experience and gain that practice. But I've also had fantastic mentors along the way. So my bosses before me in my jobs were very good at being able to show me who I am and give me advice on how to do things better. So my mentors, I think, have been one of the best. But I will say, I think this has been my favorite leadership role, being in a school. It's just nice being around so much positivity. But yeah, I think everything in life gives you a chance. When I was 18 and moving out on my own and having to pay my own bills and stuff, that also teaches you responsibility. Buying my first pets and having to look after someone else. It's things you don't think, things you do every day that you don't think help create that. They really do.
Wow. Thank you, Teacher Kelly, for sharing your amazing answers.
Thank you for having me, Nita, and thank you to the whole team of the Student Talk for allowing me the honor of being your very first guest, and I really look forward to your future podcasts.
That is all for today's episode. Thank you so much, Principal Kelly, for sharing your advice on leadership. Remember, leadership isn't just for a few. It's something that every student can try in small steps every day. Thank you for listening to the Student Seat. Stay tuned for our next episode.